Can a comment on a blog cost you your job? It didn't rhyme, so I figured I'd just make it rhyme.
It worked.
It did. Companies the country over have amped up their online investigations of job applicants in the form of social media background checks. Today's New York Times, hey there, profiled a year-old startup called Social Intelligence, which compiles a file that digs deeper than the usual Google, Facebook, and Twitter searches. Indeed, the web whistleblower plows through old message board comments, Craigslist requests, and seemingly secure photo and video sites. Says the CEO of his foul findings, quote, sexually explicit photos and videos are beyond comprehension, and we see a lot of illegal activity, lots and lots of pictures of drug use. At least Anthony Weiner doesn't have to worry about this. Anyway, job candidates must first consent to the background check and are then notified of the dirt that's dug up. But privacy advocates are not amused. Who are these people? One says employees should not be judging what people in their private lives do away from the workplace. So how do we at Red Eye screen job applicants? I believe we have tape. Oddly enough, he won, and he's currently living at my apartment.
Mickey Rooney looks great.
That's what you call a callback, I believe. Ryan, can anyone get through this screening unscathed?
Look, I think it's a little unfair. I mean, let's face it. We all have photos of ourselves in our underwear covered in butter, field stripping an AK-47. But let's face it, if you want to work at Walmart, you can't put that on Facebook.
That was just you, Ryan. I hate to tell you.
Well, Bill was there.
Yeah, Bill was there. Somebody had to take the picture.
He had the butter.
Hey, Leanne, you have a fair amount of scantily clad photos of yourself on the web. Has that ever prevented you from possible employment somewhere?
Well, I haven't done any porn, so that hasn't come up. So I'm not afraid of that, just because I've been on the covers of, FHM and Maxim, whatever. But it doesn't bother me because anything you put out in the public domain, people, listen up, Twitter, Facebook, any of those things, it's public.
Yeah.
If you don't want, since Google came around, everybody Googled themselves. You Google your friends, you Google your coworkers. Everybody's been doing it. So if it's out there, it's going to be found. And if you don't want anybody to see it, then don't do it. Don't put it up.
I orally Google. Which means I just go just right out into the street and ask people what they're thinking about.
If I have cancer.
Have they seen
exactly. Yeah.
Have they seen his naked picture?
Yeah, I'm the town crier. I really am.
You shouldn't say that again, though.
Oral Google? Oral Google?
That does not sound.
Yeah, maybe I should call that something. Oral.
Orally Google on the corner.
Yeah. Devore, you vomit your thoughts online every day.
I do. I love it. I embrace social media, and I've written a lot of stuff. But check this out. The conservatives are always complaining or warning against government intrusion into your personal life and liberties. Why don't they ever complain about corporate intrusion? I don't think that this is a good idea. I think it, and look, they're like, it's a choice, but either you get a job, either you consent to it and get a job or not.
Yeah.
It's terrible, and it's a principle too. Even if you don't have any photos out there of you like blowing lines anywhere.
Yeah.
It's a principle. They shouldn't be able to drill into your personal life.
The only thing is, I worry if I were an employee about somebody embarrassing me. That's what you worry. You're worried about somebody embarrassing you.
Well, then you should be a better interviewer. You should be a better judge of character.
Yeah.
You should,
That's true. Hey, Bill, isn't this stuff doesn't affect you or I because we're in our 50s? Isn't this more about teens who don't have any idea what they're doing with their cell phones or online, and so they're just building an encyclopedia of filth about themselves?
Oh, absolutely. And not to mention the fact that even if you forget about online, if you're the sexting and whatnot, it might not matter what you put online, it's what somebody else put of you online, and you have no control over that. And here's why this is so dangerous. The CEO of that company said, we had this one job applicant who belonged to a Facebook group, and he wrote, excuse me, I'm getting choked up. This is America. I shouldn't have to press 1 for English. And then the guy says, that raises a question. Does that mean he doesn't like people who don't speak English? No, you don't raise that question. That's not a question to be raised. One has nothing to do with the other, but the employer might think that, and you're screwed.
Yeah, that's why you should never comment. Don't comment on anything except for thedailygut.com. When you're there, I want you to comment because you leave me really important introductions that I use here on the show.
And send pictures of yourself to BillSchultzRules.org.
Yes.
Please log on. I have 0 viewers.
Do you have a comment on the show? Email us. It's redeye@foxnews.com. And to leave a voicemail on my direct line, it's 462-5050. Have we even checked that in the last 2 months?
Not
Probably
in the
been
past
full.
calendar year.
Yeah,
Full.
the people who have left messages there are probably dead.
Yes.
They're probably dead. Still to come, the halftime report from TV's Andy Levy. He's dead. To me.
Tonight's halftime report is sponsored by Mud Festivals, those events where communities gather to play in that soft, sticky matter, resulting from the mixing of dirt and water. Thanks, Mud Festivals.